Hi, I'm Carol Andrews, and welcome to our 1000th episode of Southwest TV News. Here are some of the stories coming up on today's show. Surrounded by a room full of supporters, Premier Brad Wall was officially nominated as the Saskatchewan Party candidate in the Swift Current constituency. A 4% increase, or approximately $120,419,000, will be dispersed to the Cypress Health Region. And the Canadian Cancer Society is hoping to get the message to the youth of the province that one's natural skin tone is a healthy choice. Thanks for joining us here today. The next provincial election is set for 2016, and candidates are starting to step forward, including the first nomination for the Saskatchewan Party here in Swift Current.
The candidate for the next election will be our friend, our leader, and our Premier, Mr. Brad Wall.
Surrounded by a room full of supporters, Premier Brad Wall was officially nominated as the Saskatchewan Party candidate in the Swift Current constituency. Wall was first elected as the MLA for Swift Current in 1999 and was elected Premier of Saskatchewan in 2007. And with his sights set on the next provincial election, he says there's still a lot of work he'd like to do in his home riding in the years to come.
We really got to make sure we get that long-term care center built and completed here. This is going to be a special place. We've had the frontline staff involved, in part, by the way, because of lean, which has gotten some attention lately. We've had the frontline staff helping to design it. I think it's the right size in terms of beds. We've worked hard as I've worked hard as the MLA, and our office has to make sure that the health ministry has got, what we think is enough beds there. And this is going to be a state-of-the-art facility. There's economic projects in a general sense. I won't get into specifics that we need to be focused on. I think there's still a great deal of opportunity in the oil and gas side of the Southwest.
And as far as long-term goals for the province, Wall says he has two key areas of focus.
Well, I hope we're really close to general revenue fund debt-free, if not debt-free. And I'd like to see about 1.2 million people in the province. And here's why I would pick those two. If we managed, we've already paid off 44% of the general revenue debt of the province. If we were to eliminate that, that would mean our economy was obviously growing, because we'd have additional revenues to pay that down the debt. And if our population has grown to become 1.2 million people, that means there's opportunity for people. Obviously, that's why they moved here.
And when asked about any aspirations for a move into federal politics, Wall had these comments.
And I say to them, only a little bit glibly, I kind of mean this, they should be asking Jason Kenney and Stephen Harper and Jim Prentice why they aren't running to be the Premier of Saskatchewan, because this is the best job in the country.
Additional nomination meetings will be held across the province by the Saskatchewan Party in the coming months, as candidates prepare for the next provincial election in 2016.
She says is the name of the star.
The 2014 provincial budget was announced this past week, and health regions are receiving more money this year. In this report, we take a closer look at how those dollars stack up for the Cypress Health Region. The province has announced $3.25 billion for regional health authorities in the 2014-15 budget. Closer to home, a 4% increase, or approximately $120,419,000, will be dispersed to the Cypress Health Region. An overall increase of close to $3 million from last year. CEO Beth Vachon is pleased with the provincial funding and says an additional $10 to $11 million will come to the health region through third-party billing, long-term care fees, and more. Overall dollars which will assist the region in a balanced budget locally.
What some of that was in the increase were things like our CEC funding down in Shaunavon. We had received that partway through the year. Things like our dialysis expansion. So those were the things that were actually put into our base funding this year, which is what caused that kind of an increase. The other thing is that SEIU contract has been ratified. We're very confident that we'll put forward a balanced budget this year, and we believe we'll be able to do that without impacting services at this point.
One area of funding the Cypress Health Region had hoped to hear from in the provincial budget is for a proposed integrated healthcare facility in Leader. Vachon says this is an area of focus which the region will continue to address for the residents of Leader and area.
I know there's still a significant interest on the part of government and our politicians to make something happen out in Leader. We know that we do need to do something immediately, though, out there, that even if we do see funding for a project to go forward, there's immediate concerns out there that we'll be dealing with shortly this spring so that we can ensure that our building is safe and that the envelope is sound. And so we will be doing some work out there this spring, and we'll continue to advocate for, an integrated facility out there.
She further adds a capital project such as the Southwest Integrated Healthcare Facility in Maple Creek will see a grand opening this summer. And on-site work for the new long-term care facility in Swift Current will commence later this fall. The Cypress Health Region will compile its 2014-15 operational budget in the coming months, with a full presentation to the board in May.
Fired up! Fired up! Ready to go!
The Canadian Cancer Society is hoping to set a trend with youth in the province, and it starts with a Tan Free Challenge. Skin cancer is the most common form of cancer in Saskatchewan, with more than 3,000 cases diagnosed each year. And the Canadian Cancer Society is hoping to get the message to the youth of the province that one's natural skin tone is a healthy choice, as opposed to tanning outdoors or inside with tanning beds. The Tan Free Grad Challenge is the start of getting this message out to the public. The project kicked off last week in Fort Qu'Appelle and will include other high schools in Regina, Moose Jaw, Weyburn, North Battleford, and Melfort.
The idea that really it started, as I understand, in Prince Edward Island, and they started it there, and it really took off once it really reached Ontario and BC, and those two provinces. They've run really good campaigns in the past, just in terms of getting students aware about the need to protect their skin and reduce their risk of skin cancer. And we know that obviously come graduation, it can be very tempting for young people to want to get tanned. Especially if you're going to be graduating, it's almost a bit of a built-in rite of passage for some people. So we do try to get out there and try to show students that there is an alternative. They don't need to get tanned for grad. That it is important to protect their skin and reduce the risk.
He further adds the Canadian Cancer Society hopes to make the Tan Free Challenge an annual campaign, since legislation for tanning salons and youth does not appear to be happening anytime soon in Saskatchewan.
We prefer, obviously, to have a youth tanning ban in the province, but the government last week rejected that, which was unfortunate considering we had just showed them about the day before the poll number that had said 83% of Saskatchewan people support an under 18 tanning ban. But until that happens, we need to be out there on the definitely doing education and making people aware about the importance of not tanning, especially young people. Right now it's a bit of an unregulated environment, and we really do need to be out there showing the need to avoid this and making parents aware as well. It's one thing to make students aware, but parents can play a very important role in terms of steering their children away from tanning beds. We know that there was a recent SunSmart survey. The Saskatchewan SunSmart survey that found that roughly 76% of first-time tanning bed users who were between 15 and 17 had gone with a parent or guardian. So parents do play a significant role.
And with medical data showing the hazards of ongoing UV exposure, the Canadian Cancer Society hopes the message will hit home with youth. In the coming weeks, the Canadian Cancer Society hopes to get more Saskatchewan schools on board with the Tan Free Challenge, including schools here in the Southwest. More information on the Tan Free Challenge is available online through the Canadian Cancer Society. Well, this marks episode number 1000 for Southwest TV News. And over the past 9 years, we've covered a variety of stories from across the region. Let's take a look back now at some of those features we covered.
Well, he said it was that he was having supper, and they were All of a sudden the windows opened up there and he watched his truck move, and then the building went and his truck went, and he come out and this is what happened.
Premier Lorne Calvert and dignitaries from Sask Power, the City of Swift Current, among others, were in attendance for the official plaque unveiling and tour of the Centennial Wind Power site.
Hi, I'm Deputy Fire Chief Albert Hedrick, and you're watching Southwest TV News.
Over the past several years, the highway has gotten so bad that many area residents are forced to find alternate routes for health care.
The 2007 pothole calendar is a 12-month pictorial of local residents posing along the crumbling highway with only a smile and a few prompts.
Okay, with this cutting, we'll officially declare Highway 32 open.
And the new media award for television goes to Southwest TV News for SouthwestTVNews.com.
Hi, I'm Wayne Elhard, MLA for Cypress Hills, and you're watching Southwest TV News.
Oh, it feels great to have both my mom and dad here. I'm so very fortunate to have had them as parents.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. You're watching Southwest TV News.
I declare Living Skies Casino open on behalf of all of us.
When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad.
Hi, we're the Von Trapp
Children, and you're watching Southwest TV News.
Scheduled air passenger service is now a reality to the Swift Current area.
This is an awesome day, and to have that kind of support from the communities to come out and greet 13 people getting off that inaugural flight, it was an incredible, awesome feeling.
Hi, you're watching Southwest TV News.
Kind of funny to see right here because it's such a flat area and the water flows pretty quick through here. So.
Hi, I'm Mayor Sharon Dickey, and I'm from the community of Shaunavon, and you're watching Southwest TV News.
And as for the namesake of the Crescent Point Wickenheiser Center, Haley Wickenheiser was proud to be back home for the opening celebration of the center and the museum on the second floor, which includes many of her professional memories over the years.
Hi, I'm Marion Hornell from St. John's, Newfoundland, and you're watching Southwest TV News.
Soft spots on the spleen usually means warm weather, and firmer spots is cold. So in order to determine that, you can feel a tube, but I just gently bite into it.
The top players, teams, and other individuals who have made their mark in the sport of hockey are being honored in the Saskatchewan Hockey Hall of Fame. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at mylocaltv.ca. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.